Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair.
Dude.
If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have gifts, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Oh, look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee? I don't drink coffee. You sure?
It's cultist coffee.
What makes it cultist coffee?
I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it.
Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good to see you. Welcome to my home. Welcome to the office, and welcome to the morning grind. StreamYard still had the banner up saying that it was a little bit difficult to go live, but hey, we got in, so I wonder what's going on. But anyway, all right, I'm glad we're here now. Today, I've been working on the Cultists RPG, but I didn't feel like I had made enough progress on new stuff to warrant talking about it again today. But I'm really hoping to be able to finish that up soon because I need to be able to get that. I need to be able to get the text finished up. It's just taken longer. It's taken more time to write than I thought, and my writing time is limited. But I really need to get that done soon so that we can get some kind of playtest material out about it. Maybe playtest that in the coffee shop. I want to get that out, and then I want to be able to send that over for editing and for layout, for so Brianna can do some layout, because eventually we are going to need to be able to get the proof printed. So things are progressing on that, but slower than I would like. Need more time for that. So I thought today would actually be a great day to take a look at this. This is Return of the Witch Lord. I have got the new Return of the Witch Lord thanks to Avalon Hill. So thank you very much to Avalon Hill for sending that out. but I also have the original pack, kind of like we had with the Kellar's Keep. So we're going to be able to compare these two and see how they are. Hey, Dungeon Master. Let's see y'all here. Dungeon Master says he just arrived. Good morning, Zero the Blade. Good morning. Hey, Brett. Good morning. Hey, Doc Flamingo. And Lynn Smith. Lynn. Hey, Lynn. Now, I think I saw James was here. Yep. Hey, James. Good to see you. Yeah, Avalon Hill is still around. Now, of course, it's part of Hasbro now. You know, Avalon Hill is bought by Hasbro. But Avalon Hill... I will show you. So Avalon Hill publishes HeroQuest. So when you take a look at like the back here, we'll talk about this moment. You see back down here, both Avalon Hill and Hasbro. Both of their symbols, both of their logos on the back of these. So I thought we'd have a fun, slow kind of day this morning. I'll turn on our auxiliary light here. I got the camera ready. Let's go ahead and do a breathe and sip. I got Witch's Brew this morning. I got Mountain Dew Zero. Oh, James says, I've been working on my game recently and just had a breakthrough just yesterday. Oh, excellent. Excellent. All right. Let's breathe and sip. Let's take a breath here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's do that twice. And then take a sip of our favorite beverage. So here we go. And sip. Very good. Very good. All right. Let's call up the other camera here. There we go. All right. So Return of the Witch Lord is one that I did play as a kid because we played a lot of HeroQuest, like you probably know if you've been following this channel. So I played a lot through the original quest pack, and then like basically soon after I got the original game, I got Return of the Witch Lord and Kellar's Keep right here. So, and then we played these as well. We might not have played every single quest in them, but I remember playing at least a good number of them, although I hardly remember any of them. We're just getting started here, Jason. We're just getting started. So these were definitely played. And that was part of the reason why I didn't have, when the new edition from, or the new, the revised version came out from Avalon Hill, I didn't try to buy the core game set or those two because I still had them, and I still had them in good condition because we still continued to play. And speaking of which, I've got to get together with my nephew sometime. I am interested, by the way. I was just looking around because we're talking about different product sizes and things. Where is look, here's one. A 6x9. Can you put a 6x9 book in one of these boxes? We will see. It kind of looks like it. It might just fit. We will see. That would be great if we could. We will see. Okay, so HeroQuest Return of the Witch Lord. But thanks to Avalon Hill, they did go ahead and send these out to me. So now I have all of them. So now I love the Witch Lord storyline. I don't remember a whole lot about the Kellar's Keep storyline. We did talk about that last time we were looking at HeroQuest, and I kind of remember it. But to me, the Witch Lord storyline was a really important one because there are 3 quests in the original HeroQuest that have to do HeroQuest box with the Witch Lord. And then here's the Return of the Witch Lord. And of course, we played 2 of those Witch Lord quests live on Dinner and a Board Game. We did the first one where they encounter the Witch Lord. And then we did a live show, the very first live Dinner and a Board Game with a group, which had Doug on it, where they went to look for the Spirit Blade, which is the weapon that can harm the Witch Lord. And we really should do another one. And then complete that, and then we could go into Return of the Witch Lord. So to me, the Return of the Witch Lord is very iconic in HeroQuest because this box actually directly extends a main storyline box. Hey, good morning, RPG Exile. Good to see you. Jason says, I played the core game of HeroQuest, but that's it. Well, now they've got tons of it. So this says, the cruel Witch Lord survived the great battle and sought refuge in his subterranean fortress. Soon he will have recovered enough strength to lead his mutant army in a vengeful attack against the realm. You must journey across the barren lands and confront the Witch Lord. Beware, his fortress is filled with legions of vile monsters and deadly traps. It says, the evil Witch Lord awaits your arrival. Revisit the rich story of HeroQuest with the return of the Witch Lord, an exciting expansion in which you must destroy the Witch Lord, who hides from the light of day with his army of the undead. With 10 exciting quests, 16 finely detailed monsters, and full-color tiles, Return of the Witch Lord continues your HeroQuest adventures. So this says contents, 16 miniatures, 8 skeletons, 4 mummies, and 4 zombies. So 8 more skeletons, 4 mummies, and 4 zombies. So I believe that's the way that the original quest books were. The quest boxes were. They Kellar's Keep gave you more orcs and goblins, whereas the Return of the Witch Lord gave you more undeads. There were no new monsters here, but you did get more of them. Cardboard tile sheet, 2 dungeon doors, and 14 game cards. Requires HeroQuest to play. Where is my knife? Here's a... Well, I got the Orc Slayer up here. Oh, look. Here's something at least more manageable. Zero the Blade says, with the app, wonder how my friends would handle HeroQuest this summer. You know, a game I am still wanting to play is this Darkest Dungeon. I've got some friends who want to play it, but getting together in physical space is difficult. All right, let's see what's inside. See, this... Okay, so this size box actually can put a 6x9 book inside. I was just wondering about that because, I mean, I do like the size of these expansions. So it looks like this interior box is like 9x7. Looks like this is a 9x7 box. You know, I always like to look at this from the product perspective too. It's like, okay, what are we making? A 9x6 box that actually has, you know, has pretty good depth on it. Crazed Harpooner, welcome, welcome, welcome. Says, true, at best you get a special quest modifiers in a particular mission where the skeletons and other creature had special stats. So yeah, I don't so much have a problem with Kellar's Keep and Return of the Witch Lord being like that, just having more of the original monsters, because that's what the original had. Am I syncing? No. Because that's what the original had, and I've now fully embraced the idea that well, we've got the re-release. Some of these are re-releases of the originals. Now, where I had a little bit more of a problem with it were the releases that were not, when you did have different types of monsters, but they didn't actually have different stats, because there was the like this one right here. Oh no, that's Kellar's Keep. The 2 of the other boxes that were that size, like, of course, Ogre Horde and the Mage of the Mirror and all of those have new kinds of monsters. But you actually had translucent monsters, like translucent orcs and things like that. And I think that's perfectly fine. But I was like, oh, these things look cool. Are these fire spirits, or, you know, fire elemental orcs, or you know, water element or spiritual orcs, you know, or spiritual orcs, spirit orcs or something like that, like they're, you know, ghosts or something. And so they did have different versions of the miniatures, but they had no different rules. I didn't think that was all that great. But here, being this is a repeat of what was published previously, I don't mind that too much. So we're going to take a look at the quest book. We won't go into any spoilers here, but we will open up the quest book here in a bit. I'm going to put that over to the side. We have got, I remember this. I'm not even sure. We might not have finished this because I do remember this room here, the special room tile. So here we've got graves. Maybe they look like kind of like sarcophagi or something like that, which I do remember from the original. I remember this big room here, this throne room of the Witch Lord here. I remember that, but I don't remember. Actually, we might not have finished playing it, so I might not have ever played that. Maybe we need some Return of the Witch Lord HeroQuest on dinner and a board game. More secret doors, more pit traps. Oh, secret doors down here. Secret doors, pit traps, blocked passageways, some kind of mechanical room here. So we've got the mechanical room. Pile of bones. Some kind of like dark magic looking thing. Oh, blank on the back. Of course, these are larger than the original HeroQuest. The board was larger, which is nice, but it does make things not quite as compatible. Dungeon Master says, I would love to see you play One Deck Dungeon by Asmodee Games. I bought it last year, but haven't played it yet. I don't know anything about that one. One Deck Dungeon? So here's the original quest book for Return of the Witch Lord. But here, look at the size comparison. There's the original room, and which, by the way, this is much flimsier cardboard. This is more like just card. This is more just card, whereas this is actual cardboard punch board. But that gives you an idea of how much larger the new HeroQuest board is than the original HeroQuest board. With that right there, it's a one-player game, huh? Maybe I should try it out. Maybe one day on for this, but maybe it could be a dinner and a board game too if we go back to solo dinner and a board games. So once again, okay, so this is the room. We've got one of those right there. I do like the new doors. We'll get to those in a moment, but like in the original quest book, we've got the iron and the wooden doors, which are just more stand-up cards, which now those have been moved to molded plastic. And I even still have from the original some extra skulls on the sprue. I remember there were some extra skulls, but also rats that could decorate the different pieces of furniture. So I bought a Games Workshop box of a bunch of different skulls. So I've got a whole bunch of them, but these have survived. A couple of them were used, but these have survived the years. Yeah, so here are the new, that's the new iron door and the wooden door. James says, modern home decor needs more skull motifs. Yeah. Lynn says, yes, the post-apocalyptic look is in this year. Sure beats shag carpeting. Yes. We moved from shag carpeting to skulls. So here, I guess you have to paint them. You don't have to paint them, but I guess now they're paintable for the two different doors. And I haven't really been able to take a look. But we do have skeletons with the scythe, and skeletons with the scythe are very classic to me. They appeared a lot on the HeroQuest boards. So here we've got a new skeleton look. I've got a lot of light here. It's kind of on a white miniature. But since I hadn't opened the core box yet, that's going to be a big thing to go through and do some comparison here. But we got skeletons, so they still have scythes now, but this time they're kind of armored in spiky armor. So we got armored skeletons. The skeletons in the original HeroQuest weren't armored. But these are some pretty reasonable skeletons. We said with Kalar's Keep that, well, even if you just bought that, it would give you some pretty decent miniatures for any type of D&D game. And we talked about how, well, probably like skeleton here and spiky armor. This definitely looks a bit more D&D-like, which is probably not a coincidence since Hasbro is running Dungeons and Dragons. So I can see that kind of influence here. Which is why I personally like the original sculpts. But these are reasonable. So the zombie here, we actually have a zombie with shield and sword. The zombie in the original game had the cleaver. But now we've got a little round shield and a sword for these zombies. These probably wouldn't be too hard to paint. I would go zombie side styling on them. You know, I painted all my zombie side zombies. So getting from at least the base game. So getting some washes out and doing, zombie washes. Well, it could probably be done on all of them. I would say, how would I do these skeletons? Skeletons are a little bit different because they have armor on. And I really liked painting the original skeletons because they're so, all of the original HeroQuest miniatures are not overly detailed. Which means they're easy to paint. They're not like current Games Workshop stuff that is just all over the place. The skeletons have a little bit more on them. So actually, some of the undead especially the skeletons from the original HeroQuest are some of my very favorite miniatures to paint, just because they were easy and they came out looking great. We have a little bit more lanky mummy. Now, the mummy from the HeroQuest was, really stocky. Yeah, the goblin, there were orcs with scimitars too. The orcs with the scimitars, and I always liked that because that seemed very classic orc to me. Orcs, because that comes from Tolkien. The curved swords that the goblins had in The Hobbit. Of course, they call them goblins in The Hobbit. I remember that. And so when you got, curved swords there, you got curved swords here in HeroQuest. I remember. How much more could you put in this box, I'm wondering? So just from a product perspective, well, the doors are a bit larger. They extend down a little bit. But come to think of it, you could cut this tray down, it looks like, and have a layer for more stuff in this box, just from a product perspective. Where'd my cards go? Here they are. Let's take a look at the cards, then we'll go over to the quest box. The cards were something that the original box did not come with. Where's my top? Which we talked about that when we were talking about Kalar's Keep. So this box, to compare, it says the Witch Lord lives. His foul sorcery has protected him from the power of the Spirit Blade. Now he plots his revenge. Heroes, you must move fast if you are to stop him once and for all. The 10 thrilling new quests, fantastic adventures, gruesome 3D monsters. You get all of this and more in the Return of the Witch Lord. This action-packed quest is ready to use with your HeroQuest game system. Journey into the unknown world of the Witch Lord, if you dare. Return of the Witch Lord. The evil Witch Lord is not dead. He survived his great battle at Barak Tor and sought refuge in the subterranean fortresses beneath the fallen city of Kalos. Soon he will have recovered enough strength to lead his mutant army in a vengeful attack against the Empire. You must journey across the barren plains of death to confront the Witch Lord. Beware, his fortress is filled with legions of vile monsters and deadly traps. Time is short, brave heroes. The Witch Lord must be destroyed once and for all. The future of the Empire is in your hands. And this only came with the quest book with 10 new adventures, 16 finely detailed monsters, and full-color cardboard tile sheet. Not cards. And not stand-up doors, like we say. Because there we go. let's see, we got equipment, artifact. Yes. Okay, so the equipment cards may well be the alchemist shop. Potion of battle. Seems like the light is just... Maybe that'll be better. Potion of battle. If you have a really weak roll of the attack dice, you may drink this blood red potion. It allows you to re-roll 1 attack die, and that is 200 gold coins. So this, I believe, is the alchemist shop. Potion of dexterity. This sparkling liquid adds 5 movement squares to your next die roll or guarantees 1 successful pit jump. If you purchase more than 1 of these potions, you may use only 1 potion per turn. 100 gold coins. Potion of restoration. Drink this brown frothy liquid to restore 1 lost body point or 1 lost mind point. It's refreshing after a tough battle. 500 gold coins. Venom antidote. This bubbling brew tastes foul but heals up to 2 body points of damage caused by poison needles or poison darts only. 300 gold coins. This is an interesting card because it actually starts to introduce a damage type into the game. So, which I've seen in a couple of places, but in our core game, there's no like damage type. But this one tells you that this heals from 2 body points of damage caused by poison, and not just any poison, as it indicates here. Poison needles or poison darts only. So that one is, so it's a more specific kind of healing potion. If you haven't, and where does it tell you that you're actually supposed to be tracking what type of damage came from where? So I've always thought that was an interesting kind of card. You know, this is this game, the different expansions kind of add on in an ad hoc way, which if I were re-releasing HeroQuest, I would change. Like I would say, all right, we've got all this stuff. Instead of a direct kind of re-release with different monster sculpts and things like that, I would have said, let's look at the whole thing holistically and try to make some things smoother, including some of the language and the terms. But a lot of that has been replicated. Like, you know, if you have a really weak roll of the attack die, like what does it mean to have a weak roll? Why not just, you may re-roll 1 your attack die, you know. But yeah. So Crazed Harpooner says, so no, it's potion of restoration. So potion of restoration, drink this brown frothy liquid to restore 1 lost body point and 1 lost mind point. It's refreshing after a tough battle. That is 500 gold coins. 500 gold coins for the potion of restoration. And again, in the original game, mind points didn't do very much. There wasn't a whole lot for mind points to do. I think that in some of these expansions, the loss of mind points becomes a thing. Now, I know that does in the new ones. In the new expansions, I forget which ones we were looking at, but it specifically addresses what happens to mind points, and they're more frequently lost. They come into play. But in the original game, they didn't really come into play all that much. And so here, but it's also very difficult to get them back. I'm going to have to see in the new quest, what one of the spells are. Because in the original game that I had, it always surprises me when we're playing online and I see I believe it's the Water of Healing. I think it might be the Water of Healing. In my game, that only restores 4 body points. In the new version of the game, it's 2 body points, or at least in some version of the game that happens to be the one that's instantiated on the one that happens to be instantiated on the virtual tabletop, it's something like 2 body points and 2 mind points. And that always surprises me, like, oh, it's only 2. Which is a little bit lame, because if it's a quest or a spell from the original game system doesn't really have you lose body points. That's helpful. Mind points. That is helpful if you go into other expansions, you can get some back. But yeah, so I guess this one, when they originally made it, and this is one of the things that I would look at again, but I guess when they originally made the game, they were like, okay, how do you get mind points back? If we're going to be introducing in Return of the Witch Lord losing mind points, how are you going to get them back? Because there is no spell that allows you to do that in the core game. I guess they decided that was going to be expensive. 1 lost body point and 1 lost mind point, that if you want one back, it's going to cost you 500 gold coins. That still seems really expensive to me. And the potion, The Venom Antidote, I was wondering how this compares. These are the same potions that are in both boxes. But the Venom Antidote, this is a much more conditional type of healing potion. It's 2 body points, but only from certain types of damage. To me, that seems like that should really drop its gold price down. But it's still 300 gold coins. 300 gold coins to get back 2 body points in a very conditional sort of way. Lynn says, hypothesis, all fantasy games eventually evolve convergently to resemble D&D in some way. Well, on the other hand, Lynn says, or maybe that's just that D&D has never met a trope it didn't like, so has absorbed them all and accidental resemblances are inevitable. Well, D&D also has an amazing founder effect on the whole genre. So there's this founder effect, and then you're right. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has come into D&D over the years. So the original Return of the Witch Lord had those in the alchemist shop, and it's the same ones that are in the in Kalar's Keep. So potion of restoration, yeah, it's direct, like, you know, potion of antidote right here, 300 gold coins. Bubbling brew tastes foul, but heals up to 2 body points of damage caused by poison needles or poison darts only, 300 gold coins. I like having the cards. I am a fan of cards. So I'm glad we went to the cards. This didn't bother me as much because you could just write them down. Although you do have to have Zargon's quest book here. So in my old Witchlord box, it looks like we had photocopied it on some thicker paper, some thin card, but thicker paper, thin card, whichever one. So that was a photocopy we made years ago to have the alchemist shop not in Zargon's book, so it could be passed around. You could write those down. The ones that bothered me were these, and I think we looked at that the last time. Did we see some of the cards that we had made up? So these on the back of the original quest book, you've got artifact cards, like artifact mini card size, and then there are your artifacts. But I did not want to cut the back of my book here, like I am sure so many people did not. So I'm glad that we've got artifact cards now. Crazed Harpooner says 500 gold pieces might be okay to save from death, but otherwise it seems a hefty price, even if it includes MP recovery. I agree. It seems hefty, but that's the only reason I can think of regarding why, because it involves mind points, and there was no other mechanic to get them back. It's the only thing I can surmise they must have been thinking about. So artifact, anti-poison quill, restores any of the owner's body points lost by poisoning if used immediately. May only be used once. So this is also a conditional kind of healing thing. Restores any of the owner's body points lost by poisoning if used immediately. May only be used once. So you got to be holding that when you are poisoned. Armband of Healing. Restores 2 lost body points once per quest. If the wearer's body points are reduced to 0, use immediately. That's a fantastic item. Is that what it says in the original? Armband of Healing. Restores 2 lost body points once per quest. If the wearer's body points are reduced to 0, use immediately to restore 2 body points. Okay, so slightly different phraseology, but there as well. I mean, that's basically 2 free body points. Like, why would you use it in advance? So, Armband of Healing, 2 free body points. That just has to do with the way that healing works, because you can use a potion to save yourself as well if you die. In some other type of game structure, I mean, you can imagine if you're designing a game, you'd be like, okay, I don't want this to just be 2 free body points. You know, what's the difference between giving you 2 free body points and giving you this of healing. Well, in HeroQuest, there isn't a difference. But with others, you might want to sort that out. Distinguish those. Like if you can't use healing when you're dead, like healing you might always have to use while you're alive. But 2 free body points would just give you 2 free body points. So you could come up with different mechanics to separate those. But HeroQuest does not, at least now. Dust of Disappearance. If tossed on any hero, this dust allows that hero to move past any monsters encountered on their next turn. May only be used once. It says move past. Move past. What does that mean? Move past. Well, I would be more direct. In my understanding, that would mean move through spaces occupied by monsters. Because that's what you can't do. Heroes can move through heroes and monsters can move through monsters. But not reverse. So I would be more direct. So if I were rewriting this, I would be more direct and go, hey, if tossed on any hero, this dust allows a hero to move through spaces occupied by monsters on their next turn. Is that more original wording? Dust of Disappearance. If tossed on any hero, this dust allows that hero to move past any monsters encountered in the next turn. May only be used once. Yes, so it's a original wording again. Zero the Blade says, that armband of healing is good for any elf that did not take a healing spell. Yes. Now, I would assume that it can't be used on somebody else. Restores 2 lost body points once per quest. That doesn't explicitly say that it has to be the person wearing it, although I would think it does. If the wearer's body points are reduced to 0, use immediately. Dungeon Master says, does the free 2 body points add 2 to your total or just heal what you have? It just heals what you have. It doesn't actually give you 2 more hit points. So it doesn't move you from 6 to 8 if you're the elf. But if you're reduced to 0, you can use it immediately to go up to 2. So effectively, it's the same. Magic Throwing Dagger. That may have been in Kalar's Keep as well. Always inflict 1 point of damage when thrown at a monster a hero can see. Monster cannot defend. Dagger is lost once it's thrown. So magic throwing dagger going away. Because in the original game, that's how it is anyway with the daggers. You throw them and they're lost. Again, that's one of the things that happened to be changed in some instantiation of the game that is up on the tabletop simulator that you roll. If you hit, you still have the dagger or something. If you miss, you roll for it or something. That must have been somebody's house rule that got added in. Rabbit Boots. To jump over 1 discovered pit trap per turn, roll anything but a black shield on 1 combat die. That's also some weird phraseology, I think. To jump over 1 discovered pit trap per turn, roll anything but a black shield on 1 combat die. These magic boots allow you to more easily jump over discovered pit traps. To jump, roll anything but a black shield. Crazed Harpooner says the difference would come into play on a deadly attack since body points aren't allowed to go negative. Whatever excess damage would be wasted, but the bands would still heal you back to 2 body points. That's a good point. Yes, you're right. That is a good point. So if you've got 1 hit point and then a Chaos Warrior smacks you for 3, or even a orc, rolls 3 to attack. So yeah, there are no negative hit points. That's a good point. So if you've got 1 hit point left and then you are hit by 3 hit points to go for by the orc, you go to 0. The orc just overkilled, so it doesn't matter, and then you go immediately back up to 2. Whereas if it were 2 free body points, then you would have been at 8. And so when you were attacked, in that case, you would have had 3 hit points instead of 1, and the orc would have killed you, and that would have been the end of it. That's a great point. That's a great point. Yeah. So in that case, the healing is better than the free body points. It still seems similar in a lot of circumstances, but that does, in that circumstance, make the healing better than the free body points. Thank you, Crazed. Spell Scroll Heal Body. Spell Scroll Pass Through Rock. Spell Scroll Ball of Flame. Spell Scroll Courage. Spell Scroll Fire of Wrath. I am pro card. All right, so here we've got the Return of the Witch Lord quest book. Let's see if there's anything fun in here. We got the Alchemist Shop up front above again. Return of the Witch Lord quest book. Return of the Witch Lord. The adventure continues. Return of the Witch Lord is an expansion set used with your HeroQuest game system. You must have the game system in order to play the adventures in this booklet. As you read through the text, helpful notes with useful information for gameplay are coded with the symbol of, looks like a spell book, so keep your eyes out for those. Hey, Jeff, good morning. Good to see you. Good morning, Jeff. All components should be carefully removed from the cardboard sheet. Additional game components included with this quest are described at right and below. So this time we have the iron entrance door. The iron door is placed on the edge of the game board in many of the quests. Heroes line up outside the door to begin the game. So you begin at the iron entrance door. Death Mist. Oh, so that magic-looking thing was Death Mist. This mist is a deadly breath of dread, which harms all of those who are not evil. We said 16 miniatures, 8 of which are skeletons, 4 more mummies, 4 more zombies, 2 dungeon doors, cardboard sheet of game tiles, 14 game cards. Requires HeroQuest game system to play. Cardboard sheet includes the throne room tile, 4 coffin tiles, 6 blocked square tiles, 2 pit trap tiles, 4 secret door tiles, revolving room tile, and death mist tile. Wooden exit door. In many quests, the special wooden door is used to exit the game board at the end of the quest, and we have a bone pile as well. Coffins. The 4 coffins may be used as tombs. They may contain an undead creature and or a treasure. They may also have traps in them. The revolving room. The revolving room is used to disorient the heroes. You never know which door you'll be using to leave this room. And then the throne room. The large throne room is used by the evil rulers such as the Witch Lord. The small illustrations shown with each component are the quest map symbols for reference. These symbols are also the exact size needed for the blank Create Your Own HeroQuest map provided in the game system quest book at the end of the quest. Permission is granted to photocopy this document for personal use in order to print the symbols and cut them out. When creating your own quest adventures, you may use the components in any way that you can imagine. All right, playing Return of the Witch Lord. The quests in Return of the Witch Lord are generally played in the same way as the quests from the HeroQuest game system. It's especially important that these quests are played in order. Yeah, I think we did probably bounce around a bit when we played the original HeroQuest. But these you play in order. It's especially important. Okay, and as in the game system, heroes are returned to full strength. All body and mind points are restored between quests. There are a few gameplay differences in Return of the Witch Lord. Starting a quest. The heroes do not always start their adventures on the spiral stairway tile used in the HeroQuest game system. Often they enter through an iron door at the edge of the game board. This door is shown on the quest map with an arrow pointing inward to the game board. This door is placed on the game board in its specified location before the quest begins. At the start of the adventure, the heroes line up outside the door and ask Zargon to open it. 2. Ending a quest. Players may only leave the game board by locating the wooden exit door on the edge of the board and by finding the spiral stairway, that exits in some of the quests. The exit door is shown on the quest map with an arrow pointing outward from the game board. As with regular doors, an exit door is placed on the game board by Zargon is not placed until a hero looks down the appropriate corridor. An exit door is usually opened in the same way as a regular door unless specified otherwise in the quest notes. Treasure. Large gold coin treasures found in treasure chests should be divided among the surviving heroes. Hey, Keith. Keith says, I was doing real good playing HeroQuest with a group of friends. We haven't gotten together in a while. They're so close to finishing the main box quests. I really want to jump into the expansions. I know. It's actually getting close to summertime. My nephews may be about to be out of school for the summer. They were playing soccer. They had a lot of soccer games. 2 of them in soccer, 1 of them doing like mountain biking. But maybe now that it's summer, I can go up and play with them. Artifact cards. The following 5 artifact cards are used just like the artifacts in the HeroQuest game system. When a hero finds an artifact, they should record it on the character sheet. Unlike most artifacts in the game system, however, some of the artifacts used must be crossed off the character sheet after they are used. Magical throwing dagger. When thrown at a monster that a hero can see, this dagger always hits and inflicts 1 body point of damage. The monster cannot defend. The dagger must be crossed off the hero's sheet after it is used. Keith says, I might try using the app just so I can play them as heroes. Yeah, that's what it's for, right? Or could be. I had fun having it run me through when I was playing for dinner and a board game. I got to find time to make more dinner portions of that show. Dust of disappearance. If a handful of this dust is tossed on any hero, that hero may move past any monsters encountered on their next turn. I don't know why they have these, writing it back out right here, but I would use additional clarification here. I think I would adjust it in both places, but anyway. Cross that off to the character sheet when it's used. Anti-poison quill. This rare hollow quill contains a mysterious substance that counteracts any type of poison. This antidote will restore body points lost by poisoning if used immediately by the owner. This quill must be crossed off the hero's character sheet after it is used. Rabbit boots. These magical boots give the wearer a greater chance to jump over 1 discovered pit trap per turn. That's a more direct way to say that. A hero can successfully jump a trap by rolling anything but a black shield on 1 combat die. However, if a black shield is rolled, the trap is sprung, and the hero suffers the body damage caused by that particular type of trap. Armband of healing. The wearer of this magical armband can restore 2 of their lost body points once per quest. So that does explicitly say that it's the wearer right there, which makes complete sense. The wearer of this magical armband can restore 2 of their lost body points once per rest. If the wearer's body points are reduced to 0, this artifact can be used immediately to restore 2 body points as long as it's not already been used during that quest. The 5 remaining artifact cards in the inside back are spell scrolls. These spell scrolls are used just like the spell cards on the HeroQuest game system. However, a spell card can be used with any hero who finds one. When a spell scroll is found, the hero should record it on their character sheet. After the scroll has been used, it must be crossed off the hero's character sheet. Heroes who have artifacts are allowed to give them to other heroes. All right, a message from Mentor. Oh, the app even has a special quest that doesn't have a box set if you want to surprise the players. Oh. I didn't know that. Hey, you know what? I hadn't thought about it in a while, but we might have... Oh, yeah, I can give out some memberships. Why don't I do that? Because I forget about that. I gave out some, but I've got some. So I can give out 5 memberships right now. So why don't I go ahead and click that button and give out 5 memberships? This is one of those things where you have to have like membership gifting on, and I don't choose who it is. YouTube's algorithm decides who gets the gift. So I'm going to hit this give 5 gift membership. This is a 1-month membership. So I'm going to go ahead and gift it to right now. So I'm going to hit give 5 gifts now. Let's see. So, Lynn. Okay, Lynn just got one. Great. Lynn got one. Dungeon Master got one. KRS. Are you watching KRS? If you are, say hi in the chat. Benjamin also got one. Hi, Benjamin. If you're watching, say hi. That would be great. And Sunkissed was gifted a membership. So there we go. Dungeon Master's back in. Oh, there we go. I see you got the shield back now. Got the red shield. Lynn got the red shield too. Awesome. All right. So now, I always forget to do that. A message from Mentor. Worthy companions, we must act fast. The Witch Lord is not dead. He managed to escape the fallen city of Kalos. Many years ago, this beautiful city was destroyed by Zargon and given to the Witch Lord to rule. Beneath the ruins, he built a great stronghold, for the light of day was too pure for this foul creature to endure. Once the Witch Lord's strength is fully returned, he will gather his army of undead and attack the realm. Only heroes with great courage dare stand against the Witch Lord. His vile warriors know no fear and fight relentlessly until they are destroyed. Many days of travel have brought you across the parched plains of death. The journey has been hard, for the land here is scorched and barren. Finally, you reach the great ruins of Kalos. Throughout your trek, you have felt an uneasy presence. The Witch Lord has been watching your progress, awaiting your arrival. As he sits upon the high throne of Kalos, he sees all who approach. No one can escape his gaze. If the Witch Lord is not stopped soon, 2 others join him, Skullmar, captain of the Forgotten Legions, and Cassandra, the Witch Queen. With these figures seated alongside the Witch Lord, it is said the bones of all fallen warriors may be summoned together under the Black Banner. It's up to you, brave heroes, to destroy the Witch Lord once and for all. When you need my guidance, listen deep within yourself. Mentor. Okay, the next one is a quest page, which we will not take a look at. In the very back, okay, that's quest stuff. Conclusion. So we do have artifact reference here in the back for Zargon. So that puts artifact reference down here. And then we got the quest map right here. And then all the symbols for design your own quests. Well, fun. Once again, keep getting enthusiastic about going and getting stuff done. And then I have to go do things like go to work. Yeah, so I guess there wasn't anything cool, I don't think, in my original box. Well, I guess there are a few things. This is the original box here, so I got things out of order. I got to resort all of my HeroQuest stuff. So some additional orcs and goblins. Another one of those original D&D kobolds. Painted mummy. There's one of the zombies with a cleaver. And I did have an old Imperial halberdier in here. I think we used the halberdier as a warrior at some point. I know this guy was in here because we did try to play the Mage of the Mirror, I think it was, that has the wolves in them. And I remember going and buying this, finding this like a lion and unicorn in their miniature section, and we used him for that. That's why he's in here. So he was one of the werewolves from another set. I'm sure that orc we were using for an ogre. What is this? Spells of Darkness. So this must have been something that came from, they didn't print very well. Matching front to back. Spells of Darkness. This must have been from some other expansion that we at the time only could get online. And so I printed them off. Spells of Darkness. Chains of Darkness. This spell may be cast on any one monster within your line of sight. That monster may not move or attack until the beginning of the spellcaster's next turn, although the monster may still defend or cast spells. Arrows of the Night. This spell may be cast on any monster within your line of sight. These magical bolts will inflict 2 combat dice of damage, which the monster may defend against by rolling 1 combat die for each of its mind points. Cloak of Shadows. This spell summons a Shroud of Darkness. Place the Cloak of Shadows tile on the game board. Any figure in the shadows may not attack, be attacked, or cast spells while they are there. The Cloak of Shadows may be moved and lasts until the end of the quest. Place this card beside the game board for reference. Anybody know where those were from? The Wizards of Morcar? Okay, there we go. Crazed Harpooner. That's kind of what I was thinking. I was trying to remember the name of that. So those are from the Wizards of Morcar expansion, which I never bought. I must have found those online years and years and years ago and had them printed off. Look, there's the original Death Mist. Keith Gross says, a friend gave me a few Empire figures. I used them for my Frostgrave warband. Have we talked about Frostgrave here on this channel before? We might have. I think we did. I wasn't a big fan of Frostgrave. I really wanted to get into it because I was such a big fan of, well, whatever it was, the Games Workshop skirmish game. Was a big fan of that, but I didn't get into Frostgrave. I didn't think the Frostgrave rules were all that great, but I was really into it in the beginning. I was like, all right, let's definitely get into this, but it didn't really work. So yeah, from the Wizards of Morcar, for me anyway, Wizards of Morcar cards include 3 more spell schools for the heroes to choose from. That's what they are. So I thought that was what it was. We're getting Wizards of Morcar as a re-release, so we may get that too. I will get that one when it comes out, because I never got that one originally, so I will get it. Okay, so there are the cards right there too. I guess that is our look at Return of the Witch Lord. That still leaves us the main game box to look at. I'm going to have to clean off more space here at my desk to be able to compare the original Hero. I need to sort all of my original HeroQuest material. And then also to be able to set an original box of HeroQuest over here, and then also the new box, and take a look at the comparing them. But there we go. That's fun to have. Original and new. Oh, yeah. I saw that. It's not out yet, but I saw that announced, right? So there was a recent HeroQuest Jungle expansion announced. Now there's just all kinds of stuff coming out. Yeah, I can't. I'm not playing enough HeroQuest to catch up, to keep up. But yeah, so there's also some kind of HeroQuest Jungle thing coming out. Maybe we'll take a look at that. All right, well, there we go, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I am going to get out of here. There are things to go and things to, yeah, Keith says, so many I can't keep up, much less play them. All right, I'm going to go. I'm going to try to get things done today, even though I am headed to the winery this afternoon. And maybe, hopefully, I'll see you Wednesday morning. That's kind of what I'm hoping. Tomorrow, I'm working all on the Cultist RPG and all of that. So I'm working on that all tomorrow. And so that would be really great if then on Wednesday we could meet back together for a discussion of that and everything that's been done on Wednesday morning. That's what my goal is. That's the goal. So we will see. I'll keep everybody informed on the Discord server, which you know what, I should put a link to. Invite. So we will see how that goes. And if I get some more stuff written on the RPG, I will probably post some of that in the Cultists channel. We are, by the way, releasing clips again on the Table Talk channel. So we're not having live Table Talk this week, although I am going to release some pre-recorded episodes that have not been moved over to the new channel yet on Tuesday and Thursday. But then also Brianna was making up some new thumbnails and is releasing more clips from those discussions. I believe at like 1 o'clock Central every day next week. So some more clips are going out, even if you can't watch the entire shows over there on the Table Talk channel. There will be clips. All right. I will catch everybody later. Go forth, be creative, be constructive, and grind on. Later.